Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In-Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for September 8th, 2023. Pretty solid new arrival video to share with you guys this week. And also I got a pretty big Analogue Productions restock. But first I'm going to tell you guys about this week's pre-orders. Just announced today was the newest album from the Rolling Stones. I'm very excited about the newest album from the Rolling Stones. That is Hackney Diamonds. I'm a huge Stones fan. It was the very first concert I ever decided to go to on my own with my own money. It was the No Security Tour in 1999. Saw it at the Ice Palace in Tampa. Huge Rolling Stones fan. I think I've seen him 15, 16 times ever since. The last show being the worst I've ever seen them. But like I said, when I saw that show, the worst Rolling Stones concert you'll ever see is still better than everybody else. An amazing band live, even at 80. They released one track from it called Angry, which is like the minute it starts, it's like classic Keith Richards riff. Amazing. Love the track. I think I played it like 5 times in the store, maybe 5 times when I woke up this morning. I've heard it like 10 times today. But there's 2 versions of this album I have available for pre-order. I've got a Standard Black and the Indie Store exclusive, I think, is clear vinyl. I got both of those up for pre-order. But Charlie Watts is on 2 of the tracks. I heard there's a track that Bill Wyman's on with Charlie, so the 4 original guys are on a track. Lady Gaga is a guest on one of the tracks, which we'll see what that sounds like. That could be interesting. But I'll say it till the day I die, the Rolling Stones do not have a bad album. There's a lot of bands that have been making music for 30 or 40 years, and I would think most people could say, oh yeah, you know, that's the new album by so-and-so, but that's not their best. The Rolling Stones do not have bad albums. They have albums that are more great than other albums, but they don't have bad albums, and that is truly amazing when you think about it. Now, this is the first album since 2006, and at this rate, I think this is their last album, but super looking forward to it. Okay, some more pre-orders. Booker T and the MGs, the all analog Kevin Gray cut from Jackpot. I've got them coming in October 6th. I'm hearing these things sound phenomenal. Booker T, Doing Our Thing, Hip Hugger, and Now, and Soul Dressing. Again, all analog and relatively, mid $20 records. I think 20, 30 bucks in that range. They're on the website for pre-order. Okay. I have an immense amount of Rocktober pre-orders. I generally don't put this quantity of pre-orders up, but I figured for the Rocktober stuff, to kind of make sure I get the right quantities order in, I would put them all up for pre-order. Rocktober is actually a pretty cool thing that Rhino does, to where they give independent record stores access to like desirable titles that haven't come out in a while. So we've got the self-titled Bad Company on crystal clear vinyl. That comes out the 6th. Bad Company 10 from 6. That comes out on the 6th. Buffalo Springfield again. That's on clear vinyl. That comes out October 6th as well. Iron Butterfly, Inagata Devita. Not, think about it. It's like a common album, but it's not a record you've been able to buy for quite a few years. Brand new. I mean, Mobile Fidelity did it, but, it's a solid title to have in print. 3 MC5s. High Time on clear yellow splatter vinyl. Back in the USA on clear diamond vinyl, and Kick Out the Jams on ultra clear red splatter vinyl. Those are all the 6th as well. Grateful Dead, live at Madison Square Garden, 1981, coming out on the 6th. Stone Temple Pilots, Thank You. That's coming out on the 6th. Matchbox 20, Yourself or Someone Like You. That comes out on clear vinyl on the 6th. Portugal the Man, Woodstock on the 6th. Then we've got 3 more Matchbox 20s coming out on the 13th. Mad Season, More Than You Think You Are, and North. Let's see, white vinyl. All the color variations will be listed on the website. Now, the thing is, too, about Rocktober titles, and unfortunately, they don't really do a good job of advertising this. It seems like every year, either the Rocktober or the Start Your Ear Off Right titles, and you don't know until you get them. There seems to be some nuggets in there, some analog Kevin Gray cuts. Like, for instance, the Billy Cobham Spectrum was all analog, cut from the master tape by Kevin Gray. They didn't tell anybody. Kevin mentioned it on a podcast, but other than that, it just said, said nothing. The hype sticker was void of that info. The Cars Greatest Hits on the 6th. We've got the Monkees Greatest Hits on the 6th. Yes, Singles. That comes out on the 6th. We've got Foreigner, self-titled, on the 6th. Aha, Hunting High and Low on the 6th. Next couple are pretty big ones just because they haven't been reissued. Well, I don't think that Talking Heads True Stories, I don't know if that's ever been reissued. That comes out on the 6th. Talking Heads Little Creatures. That comes out on the 6th. Sky Blue vinyl, that's kind of cool. The Band, The Last Waltz, man, that thing was in a dire need for a repress. That comes out the 6th. Oh, yeah, the 6th. We've got Astral Weeks, Van Morrison. Now, Kevin in a podcast recently just announced he cut Astral Weeks all analog from the tape, but it hadn't been announced yet. It hadn't been released yet. He didn't know what it was for. I'm guessing this is it, but I could be wrong. More than likely, that's all analog. The Best of ZZ Top on the 6th. Fleetwood Mac's Mystery to Me on the 13th. And Talking Heads Naked, another record that hasn't been, I don't think that's ever been reissued. And that's a hard, late, that's our last record, late 80s, hard to find. That's on opaque purple vinyl. That comes out on the 13th. And Fleetwood Mac's on the 13th. But yeah, that is it for this week's pre-orders. Now let me show you guys the in-stock vinyl for this week. We've got Jethro Tull's The Broadsword and the Beast. This is a box set. Some demos, some session stuff, kind of a box set all-encompassing this album and also the 2022 remix. Here we go, guys. We're going to see who is the real Wizard Gizzard Lizard fan, because we have the official bootlegger, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, live at the Red Rocks 2022 on 12 colored LPs, hand-numbered in a collector's box, hand-numbered. They only made 1,000 of them. This is 807. All right, we're halfway there, guys. One King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard mention, and a Kevin Gray. We just need Neil Young for the, you guys keeping tally at home. SACDs from Analogue Productions. I'll get them out of the way. I got Countdown to Ecstasy, Steely Dan, Everything Must Go, and Two Against Nature. Some restocks. Okay, this has actually been a really popular album in pre-order. Linda Ronstadt, Canciones de mi Padre. This is her Spanish album that is extremely desirable and pricey. I mean, this is like $50 to $100 record now when you find it, but they finally got a repress of this going, and it is mastered by Bernie Grunman. Let's see, reissued on vinyl for the first time ever. Yeah. Prince's Graffiti Bridge. The Meters, and these I haven't heard this album yet, but I've heard nothing but good things. This is all analog, cut by Kevin Gray. This is the clear, this is a variant. They did a few different variants for different people. This is the clear vinyl variant, all analog, cut by Kevin Gray. I've got the rest of the Kevin Gray cut Meters titles coming. I should have them at the end of the week, maybe next week at the beginning. But Kevin himself said these things sound good, so there we go. Iggy Pop. We've got rare tracks. So these are alternate mixes. China Girl. And so it looks like that Idiot / Lust for Life era. Lust for Life, there's a live mix. Some different demos. Yeah, so 2 LP rare tracks compilation on black and white vinyl. Todd Rundgren, Ultrasonic Studios, 1972. I think this is another demo type record. Tori Amos, Scarlet's Walk. Neville Staples, From the Specials and Beyond. This is on black and white splattered vinyl. The new album by Olivia Rodrigo. This is Guts, limited edition lavender vinyl. This is the indie retail exclusive. We've got Voids, Virtue. The Voids of Virtue. The Reverend Horton Heat. Liquor in the front. And Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Also, the full costume gospel sounds of the Reverend Horton Heat. Vanshire, the modern Western world. The UK subs, Riot on blue splattered vinyl. I feel like I showed maybe some of these. Sparkle Horse, Bird Machine on limited edition colored vinyl. It says opaque white on the back. We've got the Postal Service, Everything Will Change. Let's see, this is from their concert film on vinyl for the first time, and this is the loser edition, which for Sub Pop means the first pressing. Special, they call it the loser edition, and it's typically just a one-time vinyl color, like special color for that first pressing. Tyler Childers, Rustin' in the Rain, featuring In Your Love, indie exclusive green colored vinyl. We've got Lil Uzi Vert, Love is Rage 2. Lil Uzi. We've got Little Uzi here. Jerry Lee Lewis. This is an indie exclusive version on Milky Clear vinyl. Milky Clear and black ice splatter vinyl. You know what I wanted to mention too that I keep forgetting to do it, and I mentioned it a while back. We offer ultrasonic cleaning. A lot of people still don't know that. It's $8 a record. I run it through the $6,500 Claudio. I give you a Japanese resealable sleeve, a MoFi inner sleeve. I ship it outside, but I also pre-screen the record for any defects. You're not going to get a scratched or warped record because I take care of that. If I open a record, if I open up your Jerry Lee Lewis Killer in Stereo and it's warped or scratched, I crack open another one and I do it again and again and again until I find you a clean one or I have no more records. If I can't find you a clean one, I'll email you. But a lot of people take advantage of it because A, you're getting a better sonically sounding record because it's ultrasonically clean, but B, you're not having to futz with any kind of damage via the factory. Alcatraz, live in 1983. Agent Orange, Bloodstains. The cleaning, especially on some records, is like an absolute must. The Ataris, Hang Your Head in Hope, the acoustic sessions. The Adolescents, live at the House of Blues on Kung Fu Records. We've got the Rain Parade, Last Rays of a Dying Sun. This is a Chrome. The Visitation, I think this is their first record originally. We've got Dayseeker, Sleep Talk on purple vinyl. Lauren Dangle, self-titled, very colorful, wildly colorful cover. Very cool, actually. This is bone-colored vinyl. We've got John Anderson. This is on Easy Eye Sound. Carly Rae Jepsen, The Loveliest Time. Let's see, the Turnpike Troubadours. It's kind of a cool cover in the sense that it's all embossed. Some more Turnpike Troubadours. Diamonds and Gasoline. Goodbye, Normal Street, the Turnpike Troubadours. We've got Brothers Osborne, And then maybe the same thing, but an indie exclusive. Yeah, one's a black vinyl and one's white vinyl. Killer Mike. This is the Indie Store record exclusive metallic gold vinyl. Buju Banton. Born for Greatness on Def Jam. Charlie Rich. This is I Hear Those Blues in rich stereo. Get it? Blue and clear splatter of vinyl. Sun Records. Polaris. This is clear with green violet heavy splatter vinyl. This is only 3,000, limited to 3,000. Fatalism is the name of the album. We've got Earl Sweatshirt. Sick. This is the light blue vinyl. And we've got the black. We got two color sweatshirts. Got blue and black. Okay, let me show you guys this week's restock from Analogue Productions. There was a lot of killer stuff. I've got most of the Analogue, all Kevin Gray cut Prestige series stuff that once upon a time were $200 to $400. But most of them are now in stock. I got a couple more titles that were just added to the website. I think this is one of them. Booker Irvin. These are killer. They just truly are killer. Tip-on jackets, all Analogue, Kevin Gray, Dynamite Records. And it's kind of like the best of Prestige in a way, you know, the 50 best Prestige titles. Booker Irvin, Freedom Book. Musically, and some of them I think were probably chose for Sonics. Gil Evans and 10. This is a great record. I love this one. We've got Leonard Skinner from my top 100 imprint Analogue records you should own list. Pronounced Leonard Skinner with the Dynamite version of Freebird on, you know, it's the entire side of a record. Out of the Forest, Jimmy Forrest. We've got Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. Got a lot of the classical stuff back in. Look at this, killer. Great time to be a jazz fan, truly is. Miles Davis, steaming with the Miles Davis Quintet. Red Garland, All Morning Long. This has Coltrane, Donald Byrd, fantastic record. Relaxin' with the Miles Davis Quintet. One of the Holy Grail classical titles from the Living Stereo catalog. This is the Faust ballet music and the Carmen Suite. Absolutely killer record. One of those records that was on the Taz list for sonic wonderfulness for a lot of years. Really dynamic record, including Witch's Brew was another Taz choice. Both of these are some of my favorite of the Analogue Productions reissues. From the 50 Prestige series titles, we've got Kenny Dorham's Quiet Kenny. $40. An original is about $5 grand, $4 or $5 grand clean, and this sounds better. John Coltrane, Soul Train. I think this is another recent addition, the Moodsville, Arnett Cobb. Ballads by Cobb. Another good one, John Coltrane. Lush Life, all the Miles Davis and Coltrane stuff are a must in the Prestige catalog. Here's another one that was out of print for quite a few years, but they finally brought it back. Helen Merrill. Another record that if you find an original, it was like a couple grand. Leonard Skinner, Give Me Back My Bullets. This is the 45 RPM version of this album. Second helping, Leonard Skinner. This is the 33 RPM. Some things were done 33, some things were done 45, some were done both. Duke Ellington's Blues in Orbit. Duke Ellington's Masterpieces. Great album. Killer version of Mood Indigo on that. The French Touch. One of the iconic Living Stereo titles. Richard Strauss's Also Sprach Zarathustra. 2001 Space Odyssey. Elvis came out on stage to it almost every single show in Las Vegas. It was very popular over the years. Brahms Violin Concerto. Also, I think this is the very first stereo reel-to-reel was this particular performance. Very first stereo reel-to-reel. Tchaikovsky's Violin Concerto. Let's see, Rubinstein. Rhapsody on a Theme of Pangini. We've got, oh man, this is killer sounding. The Scheherazade. Killer, killer, killer sounding. I've got the reel-to-reel of this and the 45 RPM. Another great sounding record. Reiner, Spain. Daphne's and Chloe Ravel. This is just one of those records that I tell you guys about. This record solely existed, I believe, back in the day to sell hi-fi stereos. If you bought a hi-fi console back in the day, they gave you a choice. There was a book they would give you, and it was either like classical, pop music. There was different options, but it was essentially designed to demonstrate the hi-fi. This particular record was included in one of those books, and that's Music for Bang, Broom, and Harp. This thing is unbelievable sounding. It was made as a demo record back then, and it's still a demo record today. Really, really cool. So much going on in this. Really fun record. Vivaldi's The Four Seasons. Listened to this the other day, and I actually kind of looked back on a lot of Steppenwolf stuff as like, you know, they had Born to Be Wild, but the rest of it. But this not only sounds really good, but I enjoyed this. This is Steppenwolf's greatest hits. They had a little bit more, they had more quality music than I originally gave them credit for until I listened to that. One of my top 5 demo records. Every time I buy a new piece of gear, I start out with this particular version of Dave Brubeck's Time Out, the 45 RPM. Some more Coltrane on Prestige. Again, a must. From my top 100 imprint analog records you should own list, The Royal Ballet. Ernest and Sermet, again, another great record to get right before the holidays. Swan Lake, The Nutcracker, Sleeping Beauty, but sonically it's amazing, and musically it's amazing. And originals of this are thousands of dollars. Some of these they put in there a dupe. Another record, Tommy Flanagan, Trio Overseas. I recently, I'm making a run of the Prestige and Blue Note stuff. I recently got a beautiful original of this. I put it on, listened to it. I'll never listen to that record again. Never once will I ever listen to that record again because this just beats the pants off of that particular record. Kevin Gray in a recent podcast mentioned it was one of his favorite records from Prestige and of that series. Benny Golson's Groovin' with Golson. Another this Prestige catalog is amazing. Jackie McLean, 4, 5, and 6. Mal Waldron's on this. Hank Mobley's Tenor Conclave. Great record. Coltrane's on that too. Jackie McLean, Jackie's Pal. Paul Chambers, Philly Joe Jones on the drums. Jimmy Witherspoon, Evening Blues. The Prestige All-Stars. This is All Night Long. Hank Mobley, Donald Byrd, Kenny Burrell. And in the back, The Doors, self-titled. On a side note, if you made it this late in the video, I actually have a shootout that's going to drop this Sunday for this particular album. I already filmed it. It's online. If you're a member of the channel, I have that it's $2 a month. You get kind of early access to videos. I posted that video, 3 or 4 days ago. But yeah, that is on. You can watch it now. Otherwise, it'll drop I think Sunday I'm going to post it. I got to do the little fancy graphic with me like holding a bunch of records. Working on that right now. All right, guys, check us out online at theingroove.com. Until next time, go listen to that Rolling Stones track. It's amazing.